Hello class, welcome back to another lesson. Today we are going to see the topic of the week number 3, which is pretty much the negative form, of have and has. Okay? So if you guys remember the last couple of days we saw the topic of have and has. Those ones who don't remember, have and has pretty much is the verb in Spanish that is called tener. ¿Ok? Entonces prácticamente vimos que el have y el has significa tener. Un repaso rapidito, remember the have. This one in affirmative sentences is only used with the subjects of I, you, they, and we. Only in affirmation, right? Or affirmative sentences. And then have, and then the other one, which is has, it was supposed to be used only with the subjects of he, she, and it. An example over here, we can just say that she has 20 pesos inside her bag. Yeah, she has 20 pesos inside her bag. Over here, we are using has because the subject is she. Ella tiene 20 pesos adentro de su bolso. Okay, or over here, in this case, if we want to use have, we need to have the subjects are, you, they, or we. Or for example, we can say Mariana and Carlos. In this case, Mariana and Carlos, the subjects are they, son ellos, ¿cierto? Entonces, Mariana and Carlos have a blue house beside the hospital. Yes, Mariana y Carlos tienen una casa azul. In this case we use have beside the hospital, al lado del hospital. Ok, eso ya lo vimos. For those who don't remember, you can check the video from the last class. Ok, los que no recuerdan pueden ver el video de la otra clase. Entonces, today we are going to see pretty much the same. Vamos a ver prácticamente lo mismo, but instead of having affirmative sentences, we are going to have them in negative form. Ok, first of all, in negative form, we never or we don't use has. Okay, has cannot be used in negative form. Okay, that's the first thing that you must know. Es la primera cosa que deben saber. Okay, so first of all, in this case, if we want to say no, si queremos decir no o no tiene, we have pretty much two words. Tenemos dos palabras que en inglés, en español no tienen traducción, prácticamente es como decir pues no, en este caso. Una de estas es, bueno, one of this is called don't, okay, una de estas es don't, or do not. That means exactly the same, que significa exactamente lo mismo. Do not es lo mismo que decir don't, okay, es prácticamente the contraction form. And then, we have another one, tenemos otra, que es does not, or doesn't. That means exactly the same. Ok, recuerden, vamos a tener dos variables. One is going to be don't or do not, que es lo mismo, ok. And the other one, y la otra, is going to be does not or doesn't, ok. That's the first thing that we must know. Entonces, para decir que no, prácticamente, vamos a tener que decir don't or doesn't, ok. O la otra forma, que es does not or do not, que es exactamente the same, ok. Eso es lo primero que debemos saber. In this case, something that I didn't tell you is that we need to divide again the subjects into different groups. Vamos a tener que dividir los sujetos en dos grupos. Like the last time, we have the group number 1 and the group number 2. Remember, we're talking about subject, los sujetos. In this case, the group number 1 is going to be the same as the last class. Van a ser los mismos de la otra vez. So, group number 1, subject I, you, they, and we. Group number 2, the ones of the last class, he, she, and it. So, as you guys remember, we have two ways to say no. Tenemos dos maneras que decir don't, para decir no. In this case, the first one is going to be the word don't. So, when the subjects are I, you, they, and we, the one that we have to use is going to be don't have. okay, which is the negative form of have, pretty much. Yes? And on the other hand, or on the other group, we cannot use have, no podemos utilizar don't have. Va a ser the other one, va a ser el otro que acabamos de ver. That is pretty much doesn't have. Like this is the negative form. Only with these subjects, okay? So, one more time. If we want to say the negative form of have with the subjects I, you, they, and we need to say don't have. Let me tell you an example so you guys can understand. Les doy un ejemplo para que puedan entender. El primer ejemplo que les dije es Mariana and Carlos have a blue house in front of the house. If we want to say the same, si queremos decir lo mismo por el negative form, we say Mariana and Carlos, or they, Mariana and Carlos, no tienen, tendría que ser don't have, porque este sujeto aquí son they. Don't have a blue house beside the hospital. Te estamos diciendo aquí qué cosa, que Mariana y Carlos, en este caso, no tienen una casa azul. ¿Ok? Acuérdense otra vez. Affirmative is have con estos subjects. He, I, you, they, and we. And negative form is don't have. Okay? That's why over here we're using don't have. Okay? Now the other one, in this case, on the other side, we will have pretty much the other subjects, which are he, she, and it. If we want to say he, she, and it has, but in negative form, we need to use don't have. So, an example over here, we can just say, I don't know, Eric has green eyes. This one is obviously affirmative. Esta obviamente que está afirmativa. Estamos diciendo que Eric tiene ojos verdes, ¿cierto? But what are we learning today? Que estamos aprendiendo hoy? The negative form. So the negative form of that will be doesn't have. Remember, doesn't have is only used with the subjects he, she, and it. So over here, pretty much, the negative form of that sentence, the negative form of this sentence will be Eric doesn't have green eyes. Yes, that's the negative form of this. So, as you can see, como pueden ver, en la forma negativa del primer grupo, we don't have has, no tenemos has. And in the negative form of the second group, tampoco tenemos has. Entonces, conclusión, recuerden que has, we don't use it in negative form. Solamente we use have, yes, but we need to have the auxiliaries. Don't for the group I, you, they, and we, and doesn't for the group 2, which is he, she, and it. Okay? Pretty much the exercises that we are going to be doing, prácticamente los ejercicios que vamos a hacer van a ser los siguientes. We are going to be mixing the topic of the last class. Vamos a mezclar el tema de la clase pasada. Y esa misma oración la vamos a poner en forma negativa. So, let me tell you an example so you guys can understand how it's going to be the activity. Les voy a dar un ejemplo para que sepan cómo hacer la actividad. So, here, number 1, number 2. Let's suppose that I have this, I don't know. Okay, over here, remember that pretty much we have to complete using have or has in affirmative form, and sorry, and we have to complete using don't have or doesn't have in the negative form. Over here we have the affirmative form, which is the first one. Yes. So over here the first option is going to be I have or I has a small house near the park. Obviously the answer is going to be I have a small house near the park. Now the same sentence that we have over here, la misma oración, we need to change it into the negative form. La tenemos que cambiar en forma negativa. Entonces our two options are going to be this, but according to the explanation that I have just given you, de acuerdo a la explicación que apenas di, obviously the answer is going to be don't have, porque acuérdense que tenemos que identificar cuál es el sujeto y a qué grupo pertenece. Okay, so that's the first answer. Así va a ser la actividad prácticamente. Okay, completar en affirmative and in negative form. Okay, second and last example, el segundo y último ejemplo para que puedan entender el tema o la actividad. Okay, second and last example, let's suppose that over here I have the name of Damián. So obviamente que Damián, obviamente el sujeto es he, es él, so es from the group number 2. Voy a poner la misma oración, the options, or the answer, and then the complement. Okay, over here, obviously the first one is going to be affirmative, and the second one is going to be negative form. So, remember, these ones are our options. Estas son nuestras opciones. If it's affirmative, it's going to be have or has. So, in this case, the first one, what's going to be the answer? Obviously, it's going to be has, because, it's he. So, if it's affirmative, we use has. Yes, remember, topic from the last week, tema de la semana pasada. Now let's focus on the negative form, en la forma negativa. In this case, what are the options? Don't have and doesn't have. Pero en este caso, Damián is he, is from the subject, is from the group number 2, he, obviously. So the answer is going to be, Damián doesn't have a black cat inside his room. And those ones are our answers, okay? This one is the first one. And the second one, which is negative form, is this one over here. Okay, pretty much the activity is going to be like that. Va a ser la actividad prácticamente como esa. We have to complete the sentence with the affirmative form, con la forma afirmativa, topic from the last week, and with the negative form, y con la forma negativa que les acabo de explicar. If you have any questions or something, just send me a message, manden un mensaje to my WhatsApp, okay? So, have a great day. And I'll see you guys next class. Nos vemos la próxima clase. Take care. Bye-bye.